Recently, Chinese archaeologists unearthed something extraordinary, a single terracotta head with traces of paint still intact, revealing lifelike colors that make it look almost like a real person frozen in time. Imagine discovering a figure from ancient history with its face painted in vibrant colors as it once looked over 2,000 years ago. This incredible find isn't just a cool artifact. It tells us a lot about the beliefs, artistry, and power of the first emperor of China, Qin Shi Huang. So today, we're diving into one of the most fascinating archaeological discoveries of all time, China's Terracotta Army. From the moment it was crafted to its incredible discovery in 1974, we'll cover the who, what, why, and how behind this massive underground army. But before we get started, make sure to subscribe to the History and Curiosities channel, hit that notification bell so you never miss a video, and let us know in the comments, what would you bring with you to the afterlife if you could? Now let's jump into the world of the Terracotta Army. Part 1, Who was Qin Shi Huang? To understand why Qin Shi Huang built this army, we need to know a bit about him. Qin Shi Huang, the first emperor of China, ruled from 221 to 210 BCE, unifying China under one empire for the first time in its history. Before Qin, the land was divided into various warring states, constantly battling for dominance. When he took the throne, he embarked on a mission to bring them all under one rule, establishing the Qin dynasty. His reign was revolutionary. Qin Shi Huang wasn't just a conqueror, he was a visionary who enacted major reforms. He standardized the writing system, making it possible for people across China to communicate. He also created a unified currency, standardized weights and measures, and constructed an impressive network of roads. His empire was built to last, but with all this power came a deep fear of death, and that fear would lead him to build the Terracotta Army. The idea was that in death, as in life, Qin Shi Huang needed protection, even if it meant facing the very people he had conquered. And this was where the Terracotta Army came in. Imagine an underground world, prepared for the afterlife, complete with thousands of soldiers, chariots, horses, and more. Part 2, the start of the Terracotta Army, construction of the emperor's tomb complex, including the Terracotta Army, began when Qin Shi Huang was just 13 years old. It took thousands of workers over 3 decades to bring it to life. The tomb complex is located in Shanxi province near Xi'an, stretching over 20 square miles. That's like an entire small city built for just one man and his army. But why an army made of clay instead of real soldiers? Ancient Chinese tradition often involved burying objects and even people with the deceased. But Qin Shi Huang went with a different idea, choosing to create an army of clay warriors rather than sacrificing live soldiers. A move that some think reflects his ruthlessness, but also his pragmatism. The Terracotta Army was meticulously crafted to ensure the emperor's safety in the afterlife. The warriors were arranged in military formation, ready to face whatever dangers lay ahead in the spirit world. Part 3, Craftsmanship in the Terracotta Figures. What makes the Terracotta Army so incredible isn't just its scale, but the artistry involved. Although they used molds to create parts of the figures, every single one of the approximately 8,000 warriors is unique. Each soldier has distinct facial features, hairstyles, expressions, and even individual clothing and armor that indicate their rank. You'll find generals, archers, infantrymen, and cavalry. Each soldier is different, like they had their own story. Interestingly, the height of each figure reflects its rank, with the general standing taller than the foot soldiers. It's almost as if each warrior was meant to truly represent an individual from the emperor's army. The figures also carried real bronze weapons, spears, crossbows, and swords. Despite being underground for over 2,000 years, many of these weapons were found in excellent condition, thanks to a layer of chrome plating that protected them from rust. This advanced metallurgical technique shows just how skilled ancient Chinese craftsmen were. Part 4, Discovery of the Terracotta Army. For over 2 millennia, this entire complex remained hidden underground, untouched. Then in 1974, a group of farmers near Xi'an was digging a well when they struck something unusual, pieces of broken clay figures. At first, they didn't know what they had found. Little did they know, they had stumbled upon one of the greatest archaeological discoveries of the 20th century. As archaeologists excavated, They unearthed thousands of soldiers in different pits, each organized with incredible precision. The first pit alone held about 6,000 warriors in battle formation. Soon after, the world was captivated by the mysterious and colossal Terracotta Army, a silent and powerful reminder of Qin Shi Huang's legacy. Part 5. Preserving the Original Colors. One of the most exciting discoveries about the Terracotta Army was the traces of paint found on some of the figures. Originally, each warrior was painted in vibrant colors, reds, blues, greens, and even purples. But as the statues were exposed to air after excavation, the colors began to fade and flake off almost immediately due to the dry air and the lacquer curling. Today, archaeologists use a special solution called polyethylene glycol, or PEG, to preserve the paint the moment it's unearthed. Thanks to this innovation, we can still glimpse the brilliant colors and understand how these figures would have looked thousands of years ago, like real soldiers standing guard. Part 6. Other discoveries in the complex. The Terracotta Army isn't the only fascinating discovery in Qin Shi Huang's tomb complex. Alongside the warriors, archaeologists found over 130 chariots, 520 horses, and 150 cavalry horses. These animals are depicted with realistic details such as open mouths, erect ears, and even saddles, which were thought to have been invented later than the Qin dynasty. Interestingly, the pits also contained statues of entertainers, acrobats, strongmen, and musicians. This hints that Qin Shi Huang wanted more than just an army. He wanted to bring a bit of life with him to the afterlife. Even in death, he didn't want to be bored. Archaeologists also found bronze ducks, waterfowl, and cranes. These details indicate the emperor may have wanted a complete, lively court by his side, filled with all the things he valued in life. Part 7. Mysteries of the Unopened Tomb. What lies in Qin Shi Huang's actual tomb remains one of the greatest mysteries in archaeology. According to ancient records by the historian Sima Tian, the tomb contains rivers of mercury to mimic flowing rivers, making it dangerous to explore. Recent soil tests have confirmed high levels of mercury around the site, suggesting that these records might be true. Excavating the tomb is a delicate task. Scientists are worried about disturbing artifacts and exposing them to the air, which might damage them, as we've seen with the Terracotta Army's paint. The presence of mercury also poses health risks, leaving experts debating how best to proceed. Someday we may get to explore the rest of this massive complex, but for now the tomb of Qin Shi Huang remains sealed, protecting its secrets. The Terracotta Army isn't just an archaeological wonder. It's a powerful statement about Qin Shi Huang's ambition, his fear of death, and his determination to carry his empire into eternity. This vast underground world gives us a glimpse into the mind of one of history's most influential rulers and the incredible craftsmanship of ancient China. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this journey into the Terracotta Army, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on all our upcoming videos about history's most captivating stories. We'd love to hear from you, so drop a comment with any other discoveries or topics you'd like us to explore. See you in the next video.